Hi, my live stream folks, my village. How are you guys doing? It's your girl Narice back with another live stream. Now, I know this is a bit delayed because of, I was supposed to have a live stream on Friday, and I did start the live stream, but it got cut a little short because of some, Truman Show technical difficulties, but we back. And I was going to go live yesterday, but I had been doing quite a bit of like housework and cleaning and stuff, and breaking generational curses and such. Um, fighting the witches and warlocks as we do. And and that could be energetically tired. Spiritual warfare is a real thing. And and it's important to replenish and recharge and, recall your energy. So I was going to get on live yesterday, but I decided I am going to take some time to focus on me. And so I did. And not only that, but I mean, I did post about it. I didn't post on TikTok, which I realized I didn't post on TikTok today. We'll catch up to that eventually. But yeah, so that's just kind of like an update on what I was doing. And so we have Tone Tuesday. I don't know if Tone Tuesday is going to be a recurring thing. I just did it for the sake of making up for yesterday's live stream. So for that, this might just be a temporary thing. We'll see. But I kind of like Tone Tuesday. It kind of gives like vocals, and that's what we're gonna do with this live stream. And also, I know like this is a little bit of a different situation here. I know we're like vertical right now versus being uh, horizontal. But I did this intentionally. For one, last live stream I was working on my phone, so I was doing that, and that's why it was vertical last time. And then I realized like um, it's like a milestone thing according to my analytics. Like, oh, you recorded live, and then it like I guess pushes you to more people. Or maybe people were just jumping on here because I know there was like a lot of trolls that popped in the beginning, as they do. But I just figured I'd try something new. But I guess let me just introduce myself, right? For those who don't know me, I'm Narice. I'm a singer, songwriter, um, multi talented instrumentalist. Well, not instrumentalist, I'll say just musician, as a vocalist, songwriter, composer, beat maker. I play, different instruments and stuff like that. As well as a visual artist where I style, model, film, and edit a lot of my visuals as well. And I get on live stream 3 times a week and I show you guys my creative process behind the scenes. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And for those who may already know me, maybe it'd be by way of Truman Show shenanigans, which isn't really the most organic um, thing. I know it's a lot of it is, what do you call it, orchestrated, not a musical, um, pun intended. But this is a platform where you get to know me, or at least the version of myself that I actually would feel comfortable sharing, because no one's life should be on full display all the time. We all should have a degree of privacy. I think we all deserve that as human beings. And but again, that's beside the point. For those who are already familiar with my live streams and familiar with me, welcome back. We're here, we're working on the musical things. And if you watch the live stream and you enjoy the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment respectfully. Trolls, I do not give y'all the attention. I know sometimes y'all ask really strategic questions and be slipping in your little coded messages and all those things. But this is a safe space. This is a village, is what I call my community, because, I feel like it takes a village, right? For anyone to feel seen and accepted and to be embraced and learn and evolve and grow. And I feel like there's a lot of us in the world that may not have had the villages that we wished we had. We might not have had the communities that made us feel seen in respectful ways, or heard or elevated, where people actually cared about our perspectives and our point of views and our experiences from our own words. And I wanted to create that for myself, because there was many instances in my life where I felt like my voice was either silenced or was made to feel like it didn't matter. Even though and it's quite poetic, being that I'm a singer and a songwriter, so that is a means for me to express myself. But I do feel like, just as a woman, there's many times where I didn't feel respected, and I didn't feel like my opinion, when brought to the table, mattered, for multiple reasons. And, you know, from that experience, instead of trying to like force myself to fit into spaces that obviously didn't want to understand me, didn't want to hear my perspective, I said, fuck that, fuck y'all, and I'll make my own. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I want this to be a space where people can speak honestly and genuinely, and, you know, feel safe to do that, whether it be through the music, whether it be through the chat. But, you know, I understand that we're in an era where there's a lot of trolls, and, you know, it is what it is. But you know what? I don't make content for them. I make content for the people who get it. And, you know, I will say some of y'all do get it, but you might be caught up in the mix, you know. And I do think that it's a great time for us to snap out of the shenanigans, you know. And not only that, but really realize what truly matters, you know, and what do we really stand for? Because that was something that I've had to learn through the years, you know, what really matters to me about like my moral compass, and what what matters, what do I stand for, what values are important to me. And I had to learn many lessons the hard way. And, you know, some of my biggest mistakes taught me the biggest lessons and prepared me for who I am today. Like, for example, my store, the Root Supply, was my first business. Well, one of many. And, you know, for a long time, I would look at that experience and be like, it was kind of like not even bittersweet. I was just like, I would give myself a hard time for it, just because I didn't do it the best way. I had the best of intentions, but even with the best of intentions, sometimes your execution could be just not um, up to par, we'll say. And, you know, I really tried my best. I tried to rework the business. I didn't want to give up on it. And I tried, when I learned from how I started things and just the mistakes that I made, I tried to do everything to make it right. And then, you know, sometimes it's necessary to, like, you know, respectfully bow out. And for a long time, I would be upset about how I went about that business, because I wasn't experienced enough spiritually. And, you know, just how I put the shop together, it was interpreted the wrong way, even though I'm pretty sure there was things, you know, people in my ear trying to make me feel like, oh no, it's cool, it's cool. And then, you know, steering me down the wrong path intentionally. But that's besides the point. You know, I will take accountability for myself, and know that there were better ways I could have handled that business. And now, in hindsight, I'm grateful for that experience because it taught me a valuable lesson about integrity that matters so much to me now. It taught me about character, and and I had to go through spiritual warfare, still going through spiritual warfare, to really have the experience to be able to stand on my business. I know that's what people say, stand on business. But like, no, really though. But I needed that experience. And even though it's hard, like spiritual warfare is not easy, and especially not the degree of what I've had to deal with and face. And I'm still learning, I'm still growing and still evolving, but it takes that, the heat of the battle. It takes, there's not a greater learning curve than true experience, even when it seems like the world is crumbling. But you need that, and especially the resilience to pull through, and the wherewithal to be like, you know what, this seems crazy. I don't even know if I know enough. I don't think I have all the answers. I don't have anybody helping me out, but I've made it this far. I refuse to back down at this point. So it's either we going to keep going and win, or we going to keep going and win. That's the only fucking option. And so with that mindset, I was able to push through a lot of the challenges. And even though I feel like I'm in the swing of the pendulum of life where things have gotten like more challenging through the years, I've gotten a lot better at handling it versus a few years ago where I used to be like super anxious and like depressed and paranoid. And I mean, like, I have like certain things where it might make me a little bit anxious, but not like it used to. Like, not like how things used to really scare me. And, I just feel like I can handle anything at this point. And even though the odds seem crazy, but, I have a lot of faith in myself, and I have a lot of faith in God, and the fact that I've gotten this far, given the circumstances of my life. And, I refuse to let other people's perspective or their opinions alter what I know to be true of myself, And so, and I say this to say, like, bringing it back to my point of like my whole business thing, because of like spiritual warfare, and because I wasn't able to sell like a lot of products, I had a lot of leftover products, and those were things that helped me throughout my spiritual journey. And I learned through experience, like, okay, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what kind of stuff that I like or whatever, in terms of like, smudge sticks and stuff like that. Like I got like cedar and sage and eucalyptus and all these things. And, and it was a learning curve for me. And so, and I'm grateful to be in a space where I can look at that experience, and I can look at that time and be past the like shame of it all, and really look at it for like, you know what, you learned a lot though. No, you weren't ready for that business at the time, and you had the best of intentions. You really wanted to do it for the sake of representation in the spiritual space. But I didn't know enough. But it was still within me to know, and once that yearning of that knowledge of spiritual protection and spiritual elevation, and learning about energy and manifestation, and realizing that that's a little bit closer to home than I knew at the time. But I was clearly drawn to that for a reason. I was clearly engulfed in that world even when I was working in a metaphysical shop, and I didn't know as much then as I know now. But just being in that energy, being around like crystals and tarot cards and all of those things, and knowing different people's what would you call it, like spiritual backgrounds, because there's different things. You got like people who practice Wiccan, you have people who are into African traditional religions, you have people who are into, there's like Celtic stuff. Like there's different regions of spiritual, magical folklore and worlds. And, I was, that was a part of my journey for a reason. And even though things didn't transpire how I wanted it to, it was necessary for me to know what I know now, and to be able to look back at that time and say, you know what, I did compromise my integrity in certain moments because I was in a space of lack. And I was so driven by, I need to get this money though. I need to get this money. You know, if, and, you know, and I've always had that mentality like, okay, if this doesn't work for me, I got to build something for myself. So I will always make the attempt at businesses, even if they weren't successful, because I know like, all right, if I don't get it this time, I'll get it next time. If I don't learn this time, then I'll be better next time. And each progression I've always learned and built, even though I haven't really, you know, been able to acquire the success that I wanted for those things, but they taught me valuable lessons. And I do see myself as a success. Like I'm still alive, I'm still here, I'm still fabulous. And, you know, a lot wiser and sharper than I was before. And I got more learning to do. And even with the weight on my shoulders and, you know, people's perspective about things, I'm still here. And it doesn't break me. And I know that I just might be ahead of my time. But even with that, I know to some degree, just my existence being here and me being resilient and not giving up and not succumbing to people's, you know, labels of however they see me based on Truman Show shenanigans. I know who I am and I dictate my story and my character. And I choose to look at any setback in my life as a moment to grow, a moment to learn, a moment to build within myself. And I know just by doing that, by example, somebody else can be inspired to some degree, even though it might not be cool to say it now. I mean, but it is though. It's totally cool to say it because I mean, what's cooler than me? Nothing. But you know, I say that humbly. You know, I have to toot my own horn because who else at this point? But I say this to say, you know, through my experiences, I've learned a lot, and I refuse to let anybody shape my perspective of myself. And my low points taught me the lessons to shape the values that are important to me, like integrity, like standing up for yourself, like speaking your truth, like finding the power in your voice, because there were so many experiences in my life where my perspective wasn't even considered. No one cared to hear my side of stories of certain things that's happened with me or happened to me. And no one made me feel like my voice mattered. And even with singing, there were certain moments and times where like I was able to express myself and I was celebrated for it, like when I was in high school and we had like our talent show. But that was one event throughout the whole year where I felt like I get to express myself as honestly as I could at that time. And if only I had more outlets or different spaces for me to perform the type of music that I wanted to, because I was always in like either like religious schools. So I was always in choir and I was always doing musical things, but it wasn't the music that I wanted to do that was the truest to me. And when I did get those opportunities, that was like my one moment where I like really got to let myself shine. And, you know, again, like I'm saying before, if there's not those spaces now, then I create that space with what I do here. And I say this to say, I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't give up on yourself. If anybody tries to make you feel like your voice doesn't matter or your perspective of your story isn't valid, fuck those people, you know, because we all have a right to share our experiences and speak our truth, and your voice matters, especially in this day and age where we have technology and social media and it's easy to put out our opinions and you know, create a platform for ourselves, even if there's zero viewers, right? According to what I see here. You know, I know my voice matters and I know my perspective is important. And I know that other people's opinions of me doesn't define who I am because I know who I am. You know, and even if the whole world is trying to say, oh no, we're putting this label on you, I'm saying no, because you're not me. And you don't know who the fuck I am. I do. You can watch me all day and still not know who the fuck I am. you know? And for anyone trying to control you, I don't know if anybody's experiencing this whenever they're watching this. Maybe you're watching this in the future or in real time. If you've ever been through an experience where you felt like people were trying to silence you or silently shame you by being passive aggressive and not being honest with you, but trying, and then when you try to be honest and, you know, get to the root of problems, people try to make you out to be crazy or like you don't matter, like your voice doesn't matter, like your experience doesn't matter, and try to make you feel like you don't belong, or you're the rebel, you're the problem child or the problem person, but they don't do anything to help you. They don't do anything to correct you. They don't hold you accountable. And they try to put a label on you, but that's not even the truth of who you are. Or say if you're in situations where you get singled out versus anybody else being treated the same way as you, and people see you through one lens, even though you're a multifaceted person and there's more to you than what people try to make you out to be. Don't let those labels constrict who you are and limit you. There is no limitation to who you are. You know, those people are small minded and they limit themselves and they try to project their own limitations and their own sins and their own issues onto you and make you the problem so they don't have to acknowledge it within themselves. Because that's really the truth of the matter in a lot of these situations. And some people do that. They try to make you the problem to see themselves as a hero. And in order to be a hero, you have to have a villain, right? There has to be a storyline. There has to be a issue to save people from. When really you try to be a person to help save, you know? But don't let people write your story. Don't let people try to control your narrative or say that you're one way or one thing when you can be so many things. There's so many things to who you are. And who you say you to be is the most important. And when you do that, when you describe who you are and you declare who you are, do it kindly, do it with love. State who you are with power, with dominion, with clarity, in positive ways. And I know, like, we're all human. Of course, we have our insecurities, and it's normal to not like everything about ourselves. But when you do speak of yourself highly, because you deserve that. We all deserve that. Even if, you go outside and you face the world and people try to make you out to be this thing, and it's like, no, I'm a queen. I see myself as that and I walk as that because I am. I declare that. No one declares who I am. Even if the outside world doesn't reflect that yet, because sometimes people are a little slow and it takes a while for them to catch up to how you see yourself. But you have to know that within yourself before anybody. You have to declare that for yourself. And there's so many people in the world that's going to try to beat you down and tell you that you're not this, and tell you that you're not a good person, and that, this time that you made a mistake in your life, writes you off for anything positive in life. Fuck those people. Fuck those systems and fuck those people and dismantle those systems. Because nobody's perfect. Everybody's got shit. But if you show up every day as the person that you want to be, as the person that you're proud of, even if you're working through low periods of anxiety and depression and, self-doubt, because those are natural things and we all feel that, you still describe who you are. You declare who you are. No one else. And it's okay. It's okay to not have it all together. Who does? Even the people in positions of power who appear to have it all and have all the money and the power and respect and all those things, they're just humans. Just like all of us. They're just humans. And they have insecurities too. They have weaknesses too. They have faults too. Because nobody's perfect. And some of us don't have the luxury of having people be honest with us and tell us, like, and if you do, like, cherish that. But there's people who won't keep it real with you and won't correct you when you're wrong and won't tell you, look, you could be doing this better, because sometimes they might be intimidated by you. They're not going to tell you the things that's going to make you better because they're scared that if you actually get better, you'll surpass them. But you want to be around people where if you win, it's a win for everyone. And not in a way where they're like being like vampires, like trying to, drain your energy when you're winning, but knowing that, there's like this saying that I've heard some people say that are like church folks that are like, if God blesses my friend, then he in the neighborhood. So I know my blessing is bound to come at some point too. So I'm gonna cheer my friend on, my family member, whoever's up winning right now. This is their time to shine. We're gonna praise them, give praise to God and cheer them on while they up. This day season. So we're gonna clap for them. But I just know my season is coming too. It's going to be my season. It might not be my season right now, but while it's not my season, let me clap up and big up my friend. But that takes a level of maturity and being secure within oneself. And I know that's not too popular these days. I'm just going to make one more point and then just get into the musical things, right? But I like to start with my TED Talks or whatever, right? So what I want to say is, some of y'all are caught up in the mix, and even in my own situation, and this Truman Show like reality, hypothetically, just go with it. Of course, from my experience, I might be naive to certain things and I might not have all the details, but I truly feel I'm more awake than a lot of y'all that have the knowledge and the access. Because some of y'all, when you hear certain names, hypothetically, like Truman Show, y'all like morph into agents and, start speaking in code and shit like that. And y'all sound like robots. And I'm like, damn, y'all sound more like voodoo dolls and zombies than, the spiritual warfare that I be looking at. I'm like, are y'all okay? Y'all need help. And I would just really hope that y'all get to a point where you recognize that you're in situations that might be brainwashing you. And if something is so conditioned for you to just automatically get to a space of like hatefulness and attack without even really considering why, you may think you know why, but you might think you know why based on things that's been fed to you. But is it really valid if people have to go out of their way to set up scenarios, set up situations to say, look, this person is bad? You know what I mean? Like, if someone was so bad, you wouldn't have to work so hard to create environments and scenarios to make them look bad. You know what I mean? You would just sit back and just watch them do their thing. But because some people are actually positive and care about the community, care about doing personal development work and being a decent human in society, you have to create these scenarios and storylines, kind of like reality TV. How they gotta like put the people that have tension together to create a fight scene just so there's drama and there's, something to move the storyline. There's a lot of that go on. And some people feel like, when they turn into agents, that it's for a legitimate reason. But really, you go from being like a regular person, and it's literally like the Matrix, where, how the people that are still plugged into the matrix, they might just be living their life, and then like the agents just kind of like, morph into them, or they morph into the agents. That's what a lot of y'all be looking like out here. And and I mean, I understand with years of conditioning through music, through films, through social media, through media in general, through, subliminal messaging and symbolism. Yes, you can be conditioned to rewire your brain into perceiving certain things or perceiving certain people to be a way based on how they want you to see it. But again, how bad can a thing be if people have to work so hard to make it look bad? And if people need to be the heroes, they need a villain, right? They need a storyline. They need a conflict. That's how you write scripts. You can't have all these superheroes with no conflict. Batman wouldn't be a thing if there wasn't, conflict happening in Gotham City. Can't be a vigilante if there's not any issues, right? And to some degree, sometimes the superheroes come up with the issues. But that's another conversation for another time. But I'm just saying, when you hear certain names, just wake up to the fact that, before you start morphing into an agent, just wake up to the fact that you're already mentally conditioned to do that. And realize why. And then also, when you think of why, think of the fact that you're being fed information and perspectives without honoring the voice, the opinion, the truth of said person that you're being conditioned to judge. We see that in politics all the time, right versus the left. And it's like, okay, if you've been conditioned to believe the things of the right, you don't even hear what the left is saying. Y'all just, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, like, I feel like something that's overstated a lot is racist. Like, people say, oh, that person's a racist, all this is racism. And I feel like that word is thrown around too much at the wrong scenarios, where, say if there's a politician that people aren't fucking with for whatever reason, they're just like, oh, this person is racist. And it's like, okay, well, how exactly are they racist? You know what I mean? Are they legitimately racist in terms of, did they say something intentionally stating that they were oppressing and disliking a group of people? Or maybe they did something politically that you didn't agree with, and so you're just lumping them into that category. And I feel like a lot of that be going on. And to a point where, say, if you're in the midst of a conversation or you're hearing somebody's perspective on the other side, you don't even give them the grace to actually listen to their point of view, to have a respectful debate or disagreements. You're just so conditioned based on what you've been heard or what you've been told and what you've heard about this person. Like, this person is awful. This person did this. This person hurt that person. This person did this. And to a point where you haven't even heard the truth from the person themselves, because you weren't given that space to. You weren't given that room to hear the other person's perspective. But because you've been conditioned for so many years and for so long, you just morph into an agent, like, a racist. Oh, no, But I challenge you, people, you humans of the world, before you start matrixing, turning into an agent, hold on to your spirit, hold on to yourself, and really have the capacity to be like, okay, hold on, this is another human being. This is another person. Let me at least hear them out before I start judging and attacking. Let me hear them out for my own experience, not based on what other people have told me about this person, but based on my own experience with this person. Or ask, like, okay, was this your experience? What was your perspective when so and so happened? But because so many things are like shrouded in like symbolism and codes, you don't even get the freedom to even speak openly about issues or even know what issues people have to get the honest truth. And, say if you disagree with other perspective, like give them a chance to speak before you disagree. Because that's something that I've tried to do. I don't really consider, I don't know. I'm still kind of like gathering information before I like side. I'm usually lean more towards the liberal side of things, and I really don't want to get into politics here, but I'll at least try to listen to certain people who might be conservative. I don't listen to it a lot, but I'll give it a chance, and I'll at least hear certain things out before I just outright judge a thing. Because I'm like, what so much of what I've learned about being conservative was from my father, because he would listen to a lot of liberal news. And, and liberal news has valid points to some degree. And then I wouldn't ever really hear the conservative side. The only thing I would hear about the conservative side was that they're wrong, they're racist, they're this, they're that. And some of those things can be true. But after giving a chance to like listen to certain people that have more of a conservative perspective, there are certain points where I feel like, even though I don't agree with this because I have a different background, I understand why you feel the way that you feel. I understand why you look at this situation like that, even though I wouldn't handle it like that, or I don't necessarily agree, but I understand your perspective and that you're not a bad person because of it, And I think it takes a level of being open-minded and maturity to do that. And I challenge us all to have a bit of that. It reminds me actually of this one time. Interesting story. Now I'm thinking back to it. So, for those who might not know, I consider myself to be bisexual, possibly pan, but I gotta read more into it. But for the most part, I've identified as bisexual for a while, and it was years ago. I think I was like just graduating high school before I was going into college, and I had a relationship with like my first girlfriend. It was like a distant thing, and we were like on this dating site, and we hung out because they were in New York, and so we met up in New York and hung out, and and it took a while because it was a little awkward because it was the first time meeting versus us like speaking on the phone and stuff like that. But then like we warmed up to each other, and decided that we were together. And and I was like really nervous to tell my dad that, because I know like from his political stances that he didn't really have an issue with the LGBTQ community. But I know like when, like, say if there was like a show or something and there was like a love scene with two guys, he would kind of be like, kind of a thing, right? And so I remember like getting to a point where me and my like girlfriend at the time, it was like a short relationship, like it wasn't anything super serious, but I really liked this person at the time. And I felt like I should share this with my dad. And so I remember telling him, I was too scared to tell him in person because this was another one of those moments where I was like kind of like scared to just speak my truth, and I didn't know how he would receive it. So I texted him and I told him, I said, hey, I was kind of like scared to tell you, but I'm bi and I have a girlfriend. And his response was, I don't care if you grow horns and eat dirt. As long as you're not Republican, I'll always love you. And at the time, I was just like, okay. But I mean, okay, thanks. And then like, but then I like, I felt emotional because like I didn't know how he was gonna respond. And I mean, I was just like, thanks for not like shunning me or making me feel like, you know, I don't belong or something's wrong with me or whatever. Because I know that's some people have that experience where they come out as gay and their families throw them out and, or shame them and attack them. And, but I bring that up to say, like, the fact that he even, like, I think that was supposed to be like a comedic relief thing of like the whole not as long as you're not Republican. But just even like, I don't know. There's probably more to what he was saying because he was one of those people that can be a bit symbolic about his words. And there were times now in hindsight, knowing what I know now and just being able to form my own opinions about certain things, there was a few things that my dad viewed politically that I disagree with. And I didn't have the courage to speak up and tell him my perspective and, tell him my opinions because, physically, he's, a big black man and I'm a petite black woman. And I always felt like to some degree when we would get into like conversations, like he would hear me, but he wouldn't listen to me. And I even told him one time, like, I feel like you don't respect me as a woman. Like, I feel like there's certain women that you do respect, but I feel like because I'm your daughter, you don't respect what I have to say sometimes. And I feel like I make valid points and I say things that are worth considering. And it took me a while to even work up the courage to tell him that at one point. But, for a long time, I was too scared to like speak up and share my truth and share my perspective about things because I didn't think he would listen, care, or believe me or believe my experience. And there's a few times where stuff a little bit more personal kind of happened where I was scared to speak up because I didn't think he would believe me or protect me. And I mean, that's actually happened through the years, but I don't want to get too much down that rabbit hole just because, that it's a sensitive conversation. But I say that to say, I was raised and conditioned to not like Republicans or not consider the perspective of a Republican. I would get a lot of my political news based on what he was listening to and what he was watching. And it wasn't until like I got into like debating a little bit. Well, I wasn't like a big debater, but I was a part of my debate club in high school. And I would listen to other debaters, and it would be cool hearing people debate different point of views. Even if you didn't agree with the point of view that you were debating, I think it was a great skill to be able to do the work and take on the opposing perspective and really like debate that thing down like you believed it, even though your own opinions were different. But for the sake of the debate, you made worthy points to, to consider a different perspective. And so I think that experience gave me the ability to be open minded to different people's perspectives, even if I don't agree. And I wish that was a space where I got more involved into speaking and actually debating. I debated a few times, but I just felt like I didn't know enough about politics. I felt like people knew the nitty gritties about like the treaty over here and, the exports, imports of, international politics. And I just felt like I didn't know enough. But I felt like if I just had the courage to get over that fear and just go for it anyway, um, I would be more confident in terms of speaking my perspective. But like I said, I feel like for
since like a long time, even in my childhood, like I would always be kind of scared to speak up for myself and speak my perspective and share my experiences with my dad. Because, you know, something that I told him is like, I feel like we're a part of your world, but you don't care to be a part of our world, like me and my brother, because we're very musical people. And my dad, like, he was into like the Matrix, and well, so I don't know, he could have had a whole life that I didn't know about, um, or things that he kept to himself. But from what I know and what I was raised on, I remember, you know, him being really into like the Lord of the Rings and like a lot of really cool sci-fi and stuff. And me and my brother, we would watch all those movies. We were always kind of like, you know, and I felt like that was, I don't know if my brother would say this, but I felt like it was kind of his way of trying to show my dad that he's into what he's into, even though they've had their differences and, you know, friction through the years, because my father isn't my brother's biological father, but he was there and kind of stepped in and raised him as well as me. Um, and, you know, I feel like we both tried to like strive for his affection. And, you know, by being into the things that he's into and watching the movies that he liked, and, you know, just trying to be open minded to the things that were a part of his world. But when it came to like us in music, like he would show up and he would, you know, buy the instruments and stuff like that, but he wasn't really like super involved, if that makes any sense. Like he was there, but he wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like he would show up to the events, but he wasn't like one of those like I'm there at like, you know, pushing you to practice, you know, pushing you to be great, you know, signing you up for these events and stuff like that. I just, that wasn't my experience. My brother kind of had that because he was a part of a group, and one of the fathers of the group members were their managers. So he was really pushing for them to be like that. But I never had that experience growing up. And that was something that I really wanted. Um, but that's beside the point. But I'm saying this to say, like, the point of me even going down that rabbit hole is just saying that um, so much of many moments in my childhood, I felt like my voice didn't matter. I felt like, you know, I couldn't speak my truth or, you know, speak up for myself. And if I did, it wouldn't have mattered because it was just little me, you know, and I was the only girl. I was the youngest. I'm petite. I'm small. I felt like my voice was small. And I felt like my opinions were small. And knowing what I know now and me doing the work on myself that I've been doing, I know that's just not the case. Like my physical vessel might be petite and small, but my voice is powerful, singing or speaking. And I'm reclaiming the power in that. And I know what I have to say has value. And you know, sometimes I joke and I like, you know, I I can be shady, I can make jokes, I could be goofy. Like there's multiple facets to me. And then also I could be serious and I can make valid points and I can give, you know, well thought out explanations and perspectives about things because all of that is me. And you know, something that I say on here a lot is that I do the work to grow into the woman that I wish I had in my corner when I was younger. Because there's so many moments where I felt misunderstood or unprotected or unseen and unheard or blamed or whatever and attacked in my childhood when really I needed to feel seen and heard, or I was insecure, or I felt like my voice didn't have weight, or I couldn't speak my truth because who was going to believe me. And now, like, I'm the type of woman that will stand up against the whole fucking planet and say all of you motherfuckers are wrong, period. And I'm the type of person that will resistant like have the resistance and the resilience to keep fucking going, even if the odds don't look in my favor. But I'm here, I'm a human, I'm in good health, God bless, God willing, and I don't take my life for granted. And I refuse to let anybody put their words and their opinions over me. You know, and that's why I say, wake up to the brainwashing that's going on here. You know, if certain people that you're conditioned to dislike, when you interact with that person or you see that person and your first initial reaction is to attack, recognize that you're being conditioned to hate. You don't have to like a person, but you don't have to hate a person. You don't have to attack a person. And if you think, oh, but they did this, and I heard they was like this, and I heard this person said that they did this to them. Okay, but did you hear it from that person's perspective? Did you ask that person that you're attacking? Did you see it yourself? Like, really ask yourself those questions before you morph into an agent. Wake up. And again, I know we're all brought up in our own experiences. And so, you know, sometimes we adapt to the perspectives of, you know, our parents or our environment. But at a certain point, you have to start waking up and thinking for yourself and really analyze, are you being open-minded to another perspective? Okay, you might not agree with the conservatives, or you might not agree with the liberals, but are you listening to them at least? Are you hearing them out before you just outright write them off? Are you hearing the other side? Are you hearing all perspectives? Or are you conditioned to believe a certain perspective for years at a time without even considering or having an honest conversation with the perspective that you're trained to hate? Open your mind and think about that. And recognize that you might actually need to wash your brain. And have a song for that. With that said, this went on longer than I expected. But I mean, it's very on brand for me. I like to get into these discussions. So, with that said, this is going to be a vocal practice. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. Because I did do this live stream vertically because apparently it's like a whole different thing. I thought maybe it gets pushed in the algorithm a little bit more than the horizontal. I don't know. But, you know, then again, I feel like when I see this on my computer, they don't really be honest about how many people are watching, because sometimes it'll say like 0 and then it'll be people watching on Kick. So I'm like, okay. That looks crazy. I reject it and rebuke it. I'm like, speaking of cake. So like, there's either folks on here, and of course, like Restream doesn't have it all counted accurately. But you know, it is what it is. And, you know, I will give a little grace just because it's Tuesday and I don't usually go live on Tuesdays. But I'm like, wow, only one people. You know, if you're on here, make sure you share and you know, share, like, comment, but comment respectfully, because you know some of y'all be playing on here. And you know, we don't have time to play games. All right. So anyway, I wanted to do like a run through of originals, some originals, not all of them. And I haven't really practiced vocals as much as I wanted to, but what I will do is just go song for song. We could go band for band. We could go M for M.
If I could just move this out of the way. I don't know if I'm gonna share this screen. Yeah, because it's just a song list. I was going to. I'll probably share like GarageBand when I get to some of the tracks that I haven't um, fully downloaded yet. But yeah, so all right, y'all. I haven't sang in a while, so bear with me. I really should have warmed up, but it is what it is. You know what? I don't know if y'all could hear it. So I might actually share the screen. Just maybe. Yeah, that's right. Let me have the screen up. You know what's so crazy? Sometimes I feel like just from like the bullying that I've dealt with in like my hometown and stuff like that, and just like certain people that's given me a hard time in life. I think it's so interesting. Even with like the level of hate that Trump gets, this is purely speaking from like a more like liberal perspective. Even with the hate that Trump gets, somehow, some way, he still gets more respect and more support than I get in my own life. And I be out here like protesting and shit. What I mean, there hasn't been a protest in a while, but you know, like using my platform to speak about black issues, using my dollars to support black businesses, banking black, like you know, I do all the things, probably more things than some people in my community, you know, to support my community. And you know, but people wake up, wake up to the hypocrisy, like wake up to the shenanigans. You know, like does the scenarios and the circumstances even make sense? And again, like if you have to put out propaganda in a way where other people, like for example, like I'm speaking because like there are certain like rumors and stuff that I feel like um were like said about me at one point in years ago, like about like my dating life or whatever. And I had people around me, like friends and stuff, that like knew these things and didn't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? Didn't like correct me. And even like while around me, knowing like certain rumors are being said, and you see how I move, and it doesn't even align with the shit that people are saying. So it's like, okay, even with you knowing and me not knowing that you know, does it even make sense? Because that like doesn't even align with my character. And the fact that certain people had to like create situations to like try to make me look bad, like again, you wouldn't have to work so hard to create scenarios to make somebody look bad if they actually were like that. But you know, I don't know. Just the world doesn't always make sense. Okay. I feel like all right, you know, that's another thing that I gotta do. So I think I'll do that in another live stream. I, I don't know if I ever want to perform that song, so I'm probably not gonna add that. Probably not. Okay, so I have like that, and then I think otherwise, and are these all performance tracks? I hope. I think it is. All right. I mean, we got other tracks. We got new tracks. We'll just work with this for now, and then I'll get into the other stuff. But yeah, it's so crazy. I'm like Donald Trump out here talking about grabbing people by the pussy, and I've never done such activities. And this man be having a whole fan base of like wild ass people, crazy. I'm like, mind you, wasn't he charged with hella convictions or something like that on like 30 accounts or whatever, and he's still running to be the president. Like, I don't know. This world is a very interesting place. I tell you, it is a very interesting place, and the things don't add up. But I mean, when you think about it, like anybody that usually uses their platform and their voice for positivity, people will either do all the work in the world to try to make you out to be something that you're not, try to like slander you, or just try to tear you down. And even though you're doing something positive, like not in any way saying that I'm anything like Martin Luther King. Like I wish but actually no, I ain't want the shit that he was dealing with, even though I deal with a lot, but my goodness. But I mean, at least he had supporters and people that was in the churches and people out there marching with him. But for the way that we revere people like Martin Luther King now, like his name is held with high esteem and regard. He's got a holiday, but during that time, he was going through hell out there. Like they was out there putting holes on people. The dogs was out there. J. Edgar Hoover was trying to take these people down. Like he was going through it, during that time, because he was speaking to issues in real time. Like, no, y'all are fucked up. Like we should not be treating each other like this. We shouldn't be going through this. What the fuck is you gotta drink out this water fountain and you gotta walk through the back door? How petty and childish. How childish is that? And why did Black people have to deal with that? And not just Black people, but there's people all over the world that deal with that childish, petty ass oppression. Like, we gonna make a whole separate water fountain. You know what I mean? Now, it'd be different. It'd be different if it's like, spiritual warfare or whatnot. Then it's like, yeah, you should have separate things for the sake of energy, But the fact that people were just doing that out of petty reasons after you taking these people out of Africa years ago and then brought them over here for free labor to do the work that other people ain't want to do. And then when justice started catching up with time, it was like, you know what, maybe these people shouldn't be treated like this. Maybe they shouldn't be like enslaved and not being able to work for a wage and stuff like that. So we get, the emancipation. People are free. Then they come up with a loophole to get people in prisons to do the free labor anyway. Are you kidding me? And it's like, all right, and the people that's free, we're going to treat you like shit. Jim Crow, segregation, you can't sit with us. First of all, a bitch ain't want to be over here anyway. We ain't asked to be over here. And now you gonna tell me I can't sit here? No, I'm gonna sit where I want to. But you know what? I will say the upside to segregation was the fact that we had Black-owned businesses, because they were like, oh, you can't be with us? All right, fine, we're gonna build our own. And that's really the whole movement of everything that I do. Fuck what anybody else has to say. Like, it's like, okay, oh, I can't sit with y'all. Well, fuck sitting with y'all. I'm gonna build my own over here. Okay? Like, I don't need your platform. I'll build my own platform. And it's like, the fight just to be like accepted and seen, like part of me, I don't know, I tug a war with that, because part of me feels like we should at the very least be respected as human beings on this planet. We're here, we live here, we're existing in this world. We all trying to eat, get shelter, and live out our creativity and our dreams just like the next person. It might look a little different, skin tone might be different, experiences, home life dynamics might be different, but we're all trying to do the same thing here.
And we all have our different versions of adversity and struggles. But to deliberately try to hinder somebody else's experience and hinder somebody else's success for whatever reason, but without even trying to get the chance to understand that person, especially people that you forced into free labor with no pay, and then when they wanted freedom, it's a problem. These hackers need to get off my shit and stop fucking playing with me. Because I'm cooking, and y'all know I'm cooking. Because it's bullshit. It's bullshit, the things that people have had to deal with on this planet. And I know, like, this isn't the only form of, like, oppression that, but it's just like, and what really grinds my gears is when we do that shit to each other. We're better than that. We know what oppression looks like. We know what oppression looks like. If there's issues in the community, fix that shit in the community. Like, you know, and like, I'm not gonna lie, like, sometimes reality TV is like a guilty pleasure for me. I'm not gonna lie, I was literally just watching like Mob Wives the other night, yesterday, literally. But you know, and I haven't watched it in a while. I'm not like, you know, it was a nostalgic thing for me. But you know, but even folks in the mob was organized. You know, if there was issues, they handled that shit in the family. They handled that shit in house before they let that shit go out. Even if there was issues amongst different like families or whatever, they're like, look, and there was a code of honor, there was conduct, there was, all right, no kids and family. I mean, with wives and stuff like that. If there's an issue, this is how we're gonna handle it, this and that. But now we live in a day and age where it's like, oh, there's an issue. We're not gonna talk about it. Let's put it on social media. Let's exploit this. Let's make content out of this. Let's capitalize off of this. And that lets me know, like, people don't really care about the real problems. People don't really care about the real problems, especially these people like celebrities and these artists that, you know, I mentioned this before and I'll say it again. These artists that like to reference certain like buzzwords and, you know, coded messages in their content and their album covers and their films and movies and all this stuff. And they like to speak these little codes and reference certain things that are hot topics of the moment. But a lot of them don't care about them problems because they just like to reference the shit in the art so they can make the money. If you really cared about the problems, you would care about finding the solution. And me spending my money on your album is not the solution because you get rich and you do nothing to help anyone. Did I lie? And the real tea is a lot of these artists that use their music to try to amp up whatever's popping at the time, you know, whatever is the social issue of the time, whatever is the popular word of the time or the popular reference of the time, they'll use that in their art, but really be the real hypocrites because whatever is the social thing to be against, they're like, okay, let me make a reference in my song. Let me get my writers to say something. Let me rap about a line about this. But really they be doing that shit themselves. They be doing that shit. You're like, for example, like to be specific, like say, you know, say we're talking about like we're at a moment where like, you know, I'm trying to be like sensitive. All right, say the issue of the time is animal rights. And, you know, it's sweeping the nation by storm. Everybody is behind the rights of animals. Save the animals, free the animals, rescue the animals. We love the animals. So, you know, the biggest artists are going to put that in their songs. They're going to reference that. We love the animals. We love the mammals. Have a cute little song because that's what everybody's talking about, right? And I get it to a degree. It goes along with something that I think Maya Angelou said is an artist's duty is to reflect the times. So to a degree, yeah, that should be a thing that we do as artists. But there's some artists Yeah, we love the animals. We love the animals. But they don't really love the animals though. They don't really love the animals. They be hating the animals. They probably don't even give a fuck about them animals. But they know, oh, everybody talking about these animals. So let me put this in the album. Let me put this in a song. Let me take the picture with my album cover. Let me get the symbols in here, the symbolism. Because there is power in symbolism, and a lot of these artists and creators do that in their work. Let me get the symbolism going. Let me get you know, and I know they're gonna eat this up because everybody talking about these animals. So let me throw these animals in here. Yep. Oh, they gonna love this. They're gonna love this. And y'all do. Y'all eat it up every time. Y'all eat it up every fucking time. And they don't care about them animals. They care about your dollars. Because you're talking about animals, they're gonna reference animals in their music. And y'all like, ooh. Yes, we love that. We love that. Oh, yes, my girl, she's slayed. You hear her talking about them animals, girl? Mother. And no shade to the mothers out there. But I'm just saying. Oh, you heard him when he was spitting them bars and he was talking, the whole time, they don't care about that shit. And then what they'll do is like criticize somebody else that's not talking about animals or act like they hate animals. The whole time they do that shit behind the scenes too. Whole time behind the scenes in their real life, probably be torturing animals. And eating. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I do eat some of them. I'm trying my best not to, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be a little vegetarian. But my point is the hypocrisy. My point is the hypocrisy. And a lot of y'all eat it up. And I'm just saying you need to wake the fuck up. I might not be the messenger that you want to hear it from, but I'm going to be the one to say it. And I'm the one you need to hear it from. Wake the fuck up. They don't care. They don't care about that shit. They don't care about these references and these coded shits and foods and the food that you eat and refrigerator chess games and all of that. They don't care about that shit. Unless they can get their product somewhere in there. They can make enough references and get their product in there and their albums and their movies and their music videos in there in the mix. The whole time, they know saints themselves. Wake up. And that's why I have a song, because I care to use my music to actually say some positive shit. Make sure they stay out your brain. Your brain. Make sure they stay out your brain. They stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. Because we all need to wake the fuck up. With that said, let's get into this practice. Because we already an hour in. And for those who don't know, that's a song that I recently wrote on these live streams, because I produce, I write, I sing, I compose and arrange this music. And, a lot of it is for fun. And even though, like I said, for a long time, I was just going to, let me just switch the screen there. For a long time, I was just going to, just wait a while before I get into some new music. But like I said, I actually care to say important shit and say shit that matters. And, if you don't like me for it, that's okay. This platform isn't for you. But, if you want to wake up to the tea and the real truth, of the things that people are too scared to say, welcome to the village.
Now I am going to run through these Divine songs. These songs I'm going to do first is from my first EP, Divine. You know, if you want to support a real artist that keeps it real, even in the midst of Truman Show fugazi shenanigans, um, you can purchase my CD, Divine. I burnt this myself, wrote on it, so my autograph is technically on here. Um, and it's my first solo EP. I released it on DSPs. And, you know, I put this all together myself because I'm an actual independent artist with my own label. And I do this work and it matters to me. And, you know, on here, I have not only the EP, but a lyric book. I have affirmations on here because I care about your well being. I care about your spiritual elevation in this world because the world could be so cruel sometimes. And, you know, we all need some affirmations to elevate ourselves. And, you know, there's my visuals on there. Each flash drive have different images. I only got 3 of them left. As you can see, I have the green, the orange, the red. They all have exclusive pictures. They're not all on the same drive. If you're interested in purchasing one, let me know in the comments. I'll get the website and the link up and running for you to make a purchase, and I'll send them out to you. And, you know, and if you enjoy the vibes, you love somebody that keeps it real and really keep the real tea that be going on in this industry, even though I'm still working my way through, you know. I mean, for me, I feel like I'm at a point where it's like, I don't really care to be like, a part of it because we're in a day and age where you can build something for yourself and you don't need the industry. You know, like for a long time, I cared about like the things of like, you know, being at the Soul Train Awards and the BET Awards and the Grammys and all of that. And like to some degree, if those people wake up and recognize the value that I have within myself and, you know, appreciate my talent and, you know, open a space for me, then, you know, then I would appreciate that because I did grow up watching those award shows and supporting those organizations, especially for Black creatives and Black spaces and Black music. But at the same time, thanks to technology and social media, you know, I'll build it myself, even if it takes me a while, even if there's other narratives and other platforms like Truman Show shenanigans that might be larger than my platform. But fuck that and fuck them. I'm building something of my own because I actually care about what I do and I actually care about keeping it real and I actually care about your well-being as you watch this. Even if people are on here trying to troll, even if people are, you know, or whatever. But I know there's people who watch this like, I know we not supposed to like Narice, but she be cooking. No pun intended. Like she be saying some real shit because I do. Because if your favorite artist ain't gonna do it, then it's gonna be me. Because really, I'm your favorite artist anyway. They're not gonna say that, but anyway. You wanna put on mascara, fix your hair up right. You wanna make sure that outfit be fitted on tips tight. Hips. Yo, tips. Even though I definitely need to get my nails done. All right, this is why we practice, right? I'm gonna start it over. Because I actually haven't sang these songs in a while. So give me grace, y'all. The world is already so hard on me. Give me grace. Give me grace. And shout out to the folks that's on here watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the vibes. You know, I'm at what, 199? Mind you, I got back into live streaming a little over a month ago, like in mid-May. So now we're towards like the middle endish of June, and I'm already up to like one more subscriber, then I'm gonna be at 200. Next thing you know, by tomorrow I might be monetized. Who knows? Like, okay. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and join the tribe, the village. Like I said, this is a safe space for us to really get into the things. Like, you know, yes, I do get into our discussions and talk about the state of the world because I care. And, you know, I'll say the thing that people are too scared to say. But not only that, but I really care about this music thing too. And I want to bring you guys a part of the process, you know, while I'm in this Truman Show shenanigans. And eventually, you know, we will get out of this and, you know, get into my own space where
you know, you get to see the side of me that I feel comfortable sharing, because you shouldn't see every side of me, because, you know, how I sleep and what I wear around my house is not your business. You know, sometimes I just want to rock lingerie because I feel like it. And that's really not for your entertainment unless I decide to show that. Or, you know, Rihanna wants to consider me to be an ambassador for Savage Fenty and, you know, send me some, you know, a nude collection, because, you know, for a long time I was like, okay, I love these lavender colors, but girl, like, I'm gonna need a nudes, like different shades, kind of like the Fenty makeup. But, you know, but I know she got it now, but, you know, I'm I'm an independent artist. I'm not a billionaire yet like her. So, you know, as I'm building my things eventually. But then, you know, maybe she might say, like, you know what, Narice is a bad bitch. And she makes some valuable points. But, you know, but that's beside the point. That is beside the point. All right, anyway, let's get back to this music. All right, y'all. And for the record, all these songs that I'm doing right here is on my EP, Divine. So, you know, if you don't know what the project is, you about to hear a little bit of what it sounds like. And this is just me practicing performance tracks because, you know, when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Even though I don't have a show um, coming up yet, there is a show. You know, there's a show at a great venue with great fans and great audiences. And I just have to be ready for them. So here we are. You wanna put on mascara, fix your hair up right. You wanna make sure that outfit be fit on hips tight. Cause you can't be sure if you're insecure, but I know what you're yearning for. I love the passing time. For you I'd write a rhyme entwined in my hymn melodies. I love to pick your mind and maybe I'll wine and dine. You are the treasure under the sea. I wonder if you would let me see what's under your physical. I wonder if you wanna let me in to see what's within, and not your skin, and not your skin, and not your skin, skin. And I just wanna see through your physical. It doesn't have to be just so physical. I just wanna see through your physical. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Uh. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was such a cute song. Okay. This is not in the order of the EP. Actually, no, I think I'm going to do the order. Yeah. This is Alumni, the most honest song on this project. I was stupidly in love at one point in life, but you know, we live and we learn those lessons. You may try to run me out of the town, but did you forget where I made this crown? Even if my lips may be down to the ground, I still admit you got that funky sound. Even though you played the game and tried to take me out, what's that about? And we're supposed to be on the same team. Even if we can't agree, we could have been everything. You can take your degrees and your alumni and family and spice and jumping through everything. And I'll just be living free, and I live love.
This is Just Wanna. I made this beat. It's one of the first beats I made. Can y'all hear anything okay? Because I'm not sure. Ashamed I still get like this, anxious in your presence, my dear. We make magic without any need for physical contact. Though I cannot act like the opposite action doesn't run through my head. What it may be like to be in your no, don't think like that, just let it go. I just wanna love you, my dear. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you, my dear. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you, my dear. I just wanna love you. Just wanna love on you, my dear. I play it coy 'cause I don't wanna annoy you. I got love for you in store. Promise that I won't bore you. And I imagine what we could be outside. This time I wish you see me. I feel away, but it's okay. I'll just say it's not all day. I guess it's gonna be that way. Oh, but I'll just say I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you, my dear. I just wanna love you. Just wanna love on you, my dear. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you, my dear. I just wanna love you. Just wanna love on you, my dear. Uh, 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 shame I still get like this, anxious in your This is another song that I produced myself via guitar called Divine, and I hope you enjoy it. Feel your embrace, my dear baby. I see you racing in my heart. Can no one take your place?
place, and here I make the space for you to embark the tree of life and love, and just be the light and love, and we can free the love, and we can be in love, my friend. My friend, my friend, friend. I feel sleeping. Oh shit. Wow, not me forgetting the lyrics. You don't even know it, but I'm missing you. I was fighting the inhibitions of the tree of life and love. And just be the light and love. And we can free the love, and we can be in love, my friend. You are truly something divine, and time will tell the stars to align. And when I am yours, and you are mine, I will love you full of time, for all time, for all time. I forgot the lyrics because I forgot what it was like to feel those emotions. This is Run. Oh, got the girls dancing, prancing, pop it like a Hanson, pick the bag up like a grandson. Remember team, me handsome, splitting up the checks till we get, what you gonna do when you feel like you got nobody is to run to? You know, who really knows you? When the wheels fall off from the beat that'll lift you. It's been a long time coming, but I'm not going, even when the time is flowing. You can guarantee that I'll be right by your side. I know you better than anybody else. When things get hard in life, sometimes I ain't going nowhere else. And you know me better than anybody else, and we'll be friends till the end. Oh, I know you better than anybody else. And things get hard in life, sometimes I ain't going nowhere else. You know me better than anybody else, and we'll be friends till the end. This is why we practice, y'all. And oh yeah, oh, love to the constellation, to see the destination.
that's my Divine EP, BT Dubs. So, if you enjoy the vibes, it's available to stream and purchase. So, and if you decide to purchase, let me know in the comments, okay? Like, don't purchase on Amazon. No shade to Jeff Bezos. He's a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire yet. So, until then, it really helps me when you purchase it from my website. So, yeah, let me get that up and running. No pun intended. Up and running. Oh no, yeah. I'm upset at that performance. It was going so well. It was going so well. Okay, so I do have these other songs. I have some unreleased songs that I haven't performed. I'm not gonna get into it here. I think what I'm going to do instead is because I'm like I have quite a few unreleased ones that I had been performing that's like not on any project yet, like Otherwise and Misery. And I love those songs sonically. I'll just kind of like run through that and then we'll get into like the newer stuff, which I'm really excited about because I feel like those resonate more with what I've been feeling, So oh no, yeah, oh, no, yeah. Okay, I don't know if I have Otherwise on here. I mean, I should have the track, the instrumental. Let me. Okay, I think something. Come on now. Oh, you know what? This is probably because. Okay, so instead of that, let me see if I can find this file. And then, I'll put this playlist together in real time. Otherwise. Do I have the instrumental though? I don't know if I have that. You know what? I think I have a track with the vocals in there. And I think I might just sing along to it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, is this not? MP3? It says Adobe. That's not what I was trying to go for. All right. You know what? I might just play it acoustic. But that lets me know, okay, in one of these next live streams, I probably should work on that. I know actually I do need to work on that song sonically because the guitar playing isn't as smooth and I've gotten better since. So with that said, let me just get this together, y'all. Bear with me during the technical we won't say difficulties, the technical circumstances. But how are y'all feeling? Are y'all enjoying the live streams? I understand if y'all actually enjoy it and you want to like being hiding. I get it. But no, it's okay. There will come a day where, because you know how like it's not cool to like something and then all of a sudden it becomes cool because everybody's into it. I mean, that'll eventually happen. Because people will wake up to, their fabricated oppositions and realize it's dope over here. It's a vibe. It's a great time. I don't know if y'all can hear this. I'm not sure if y'all can hear this guitar part. I plugged it into my interface.
Okay, I know a way I can check.
I mean, it's not perfect, but I feel like y'all can hear it enough. All right, y'all. So let's get into the vibes. This is Otherwise. Yeah, I'll just play my guitar songs real quick, and then yeah, I think that's the right key. I don't be knowing, but it's just a vibe nonetheless. Well, I haven't practiced this one in a while. Let there be light. Oh, okay. You know what? I know I haven't been practicing guitar in a while because my nails are long as fuck. All right, y'all. This is Otherwise. Hey, 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 stuck within this prison sentence you place me in. Now you say I'm free. How could I be? My world is a privacy free purgatory where I'm constantly afraid to be me. Since the exoneration, I just want a vacation. Don't want no confrontations. Don't want no conversations. Otherwise, 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 I'll be free to fly. I choose to be wise and willing to explore upside down dimensions of never reason. Hopefully to see me other than strange that gave us all glory. Father, to tell my own story. Otherwise, 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 I'll be free to fly. There we go. mm, oh, 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 mm. I choose to be wise and willing to escape upside down dimensions no one believes in. Hopefully they'll see me other than strange like Eva Sakori. Able to tell my own story. Otherwise, 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 I'll be free to fly. That's otherwise. And by the way, I would have had that key change if my nails were a little bit shorter, because I was on the notes. I just fucked it up just a little bit, but it's okay though. I don't know what you want from me, but I know when I'm around you, I've a misery, so I just keep my resistance, and I just end love like breaking long distance. I know relationships get hard, but this I couldn't even predict in the cards. Oh no, they are gold. Didn't tell me about this. Didn't warn me. Agent Smith would find me in the Matrix. I don't know what you want from me, but I know when I'm around you, I feel misery, so I just keep my resistance, and I'll just send over like breaky long distance. Distance. I know I'm the life of the party, but I don't give a fuck about them parties. No, no, I know you try to get me to be naughty, but I don't want nobody on my body. I know I'm the life of your party, but I don't give a fuck about them parties. No, 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 you tried to get me to be naughty, but I don't want nobody. You're minding my business, got me more paranoid than Haley Williams. Would it be like this on the daily? Abyss of darkness, maybe, or hopefully I get a download from a deity that's told me like a Morpheus. I'll be the mentee, pray me go fly through to come get me, or learn to fend for myself on my Trinity. Like I don't know what you want from me, but I know when I'm around him, I feel misery, so I just keep my resistance, and I'll just slide, breaking long distance, distance, like breaking long distance, like breaking long distance, like they need a team to compete with me, baby. They need a team to compete with me, baby. Would I play by playbook to copy my moves? You can never do what I do. They could never. They could. They can never. Yeah. They can never. You need half the globe, 'cause by yourself you can never come close. Yeah. That's a little tune called Misery. And we just kind of like freestyle in a little bit every now and then. All right. I think those are the rest of the guitar songs. Everything else I would normally play on guitar, I did with the backtrack. So, all right, now we can get into the new originals that if you have been watching some of my live streams of me working on these beats, you would be familiar with some of these tracks. I feel like I have instrumentals though. Hold on, let me just go through these folders. I know this isn't quite organized. I intentionally do that though, because I do want these live streams to be somewhat new and fresh. You know, I don't want it to always be like predictable. You know, because like who likes that? That's no fun. You know, I want it to be a surprise for my village, for my fans, you know, in terms of what I'm working on. So normally, under normal circumstances, I would have already had this shit ready, you know, with all the tracks and all those things. But honestly, this is me kind of getting ready at the same time. I'm like, why is this? You know what? Okay. Anyway, so this kind of gives me an idea of like what an original set would be like, which I haven't done in a while. You know, the whole Chitlin circuit. I haven't really done that. And, you know, circumstances around my life is just a bit interesting. But at the same time, it's like, look, we gotta make moves. And I'm good at what I do. And, you know, I really be talking with God. And I'm like, look, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm trying to, you know how people be like, you know, if the dream ain't working out, just work a regular job. I tried doing that shit. But, you know, the Illuminati won't let me get a job. So I'm like, all right, well, damn, well, let me do the fucking music. Shit. What do you want? What do you want from me? I don't know what these hoes want from me, but I know I just be trying to live peacefully. Yeah. But I'm just okay. Why can't I add this in here? Why is this being weird? Keep my resistance. Okay, this is not the version I would want to add on here anyway. Okay. All right, you know what? This is what I have to do. Okay. No, that's not what we're doing. All right, so got front end and what's the other one? Some of these other ones I saw. What is that? Oh, that's just okay. I know what that is. Do I have this as an instrument? I don't know if I have the new instrumental though. I don't know. All right, hold on, y'all. Well, in the meantime, I'll like do this song. I'll sing this song while I like get this backtrack for this other track. I'll see if I can do both at the same time. All right. Even though I didn't finish writing this song, but you know, here we are. Oh, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I can hear nobody around me that I can't trust or keep it honest with me. Oh, we're just friends. I wanna love you, baby, but I don't need you. You ain't finna drive me crazy. I wanna know what it is, 'cause I know you're ignorant, same place. I gotta know how you feel, 'cause I know that we should let go of here, oh baby. I'll keep it real. I don't wanna walk away from you, but I will. I don't need a thing from you. I pay my own bills. Don't you know you're safe with me? Tell me how you feel. I don't want you, that you gon' keep it real. I don't want you, that you gon' keep it real. I don't need you, baby, I pay my bills. I don't want you, that you gon' keep it real. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want nobody around me that's confusing. 1% of you want you still be losing. You're a queen lady, baby, 'cause I ain't no pawn. I don't play no games no more, 'cause I own the ball. I wanna know how you feel, 'cause ignorance ain't bliss. I gotta know how you feel, 'cause I know that we should let go of here, oh baby. I don't wanna walk away from you, but I will. I don't need a thing from you. I pay my own bills. Don't you know you're safe with me? Tell me how you feel. But I don't want you, that you gon' keep it real. I'll keep it real. I don't wanna walk away from you, but I will. I don't need a thing from you. I pay my own bills. Don't you know? Yeah. And I was thinking about putting something here. I'm not sure what I want to do here yet. We'll see. I have an idea, but I just love this bass line so much. Did I start this like an hour in? I think, what is this, like an hour set so far? I keep it real. I don't wanna walk away from you, but I will. I don't need a thing from you. I pay my own bills. Don't you know you're safe with me? Tell me how you feel. But I don't want you, unless you gon' keep it real. Keep it real. I don't wanna walk away from you, but I will. I don't need a thing from you. I pay my own bills. Oh yeah. I don't want you, but you gon' keep it real. I don't want you, but you gon' keep it real. I don't need you, baby. I pay my bills. Yeah. I don't need you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is where it goes into like a transition. I'm still working on like the vocals here. So, oh, where'd it go? Oh, okay. We're not. That's okay. All right, that was right where I wanted to end that anyway. All right, then this next track. Okay, I think I started this late. Okay, I think I started right at the track? Let me listen to how I did this. I'm the leader of the new school. Okay, this is a fairly new song, so bear with me, y'all. But this is a song that I've been like having on my heart for a long time. Oh, it feels like a long time. It's only been like 2 years, but that's still a long time though. I've had this song in my mind. Like I remember, I'll share a quick little story. So I was coming home from work when I was working at the grocery store, and hold on, let me just get this in the playlist. Okay. So I was working at the grocery store, and this was before I had a car of my own. And so I was taking a bus. And mind you, I needed to take like 2 buses to get home. And so like my trip would be anywhere between like an hour to an hour and a half, right? And I got off of work one day and I took a transfer from it not, those details don't matter. Either way, I was on the bus, right? And it was just like I think it was around Halloween time because there was like a lot of like ghoulish activities going on. Um, and um, and I was like dealing with people just kind of like doing like little stuff to like taunt. And I remember this bus ride, like it was the middle of the daytime, and like they turned the lights off in the bus, and like people was just acting weird and just like being rambunctious. And I mean, anybody who takes the bus like is probably used to stuff like that, but it was just kind of amped up and very like just doing a bit much. And so I was coming up with this melody while dealing with that. And I was coming up with the words of like yearning for the life you're wanting while facing their taunts and their judgments on you, trying to stay sane, fighting every day while hiding your pain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. And in that, I mean, I was dealing with that shit like all the time, like at work, on the bus, and and it's just so like, I mean, I'm tough enough to deal with it, clearly, because God made me different and in the best ways. And and it's hard to deal with, like, especially with people who you knew. Like there was people that I would see on the bus that I used to work with, and I was cool with, who like I've driven home like working late nights because I knew they took the bus. Like back when I had a car at the time, I would like ask someone like, hey, because I knew they didn't live far from me. So I'm like, I'll take you home because I care about the people that I worked with.
And and just to see people just kind of like switch up on you, and you don't know why, because from your recollection you only had a positive relationship with these people. And you know when they would do a great job, you will highlight it, because I was a manager at one point too. And and so I was just kind of like going through that feeling of like betrayal, a lot of that, a lot of like people just switching up on me and me not knowing what the fuck the problem was, and me just like trying to figure out like, okay, like what did I do? Did I say something to offend you? And it's like, and again, like I'm the type of person where if I do something wrong, I want to make it right. If I have a misstep, let me know so I can fix the shit. But you can't fix a problem that people don't make you aware of. And some people will treat you like a problem and don't tell you what the fuck you did, and then come to realize like certain situations in my life where I thought were the problem, that I assumed were the problem, because I can just only go off of context clues and just trying to read people's energy. I'm like, okay, maybe it was during this time where I was like dating around or something. Maybe people feel away, and then people like insinuate like, oh, she a hoe, she this, she that. And so then I like, okay, and then I've been celibate for years at this point. Not because of that, but because of like discovering self-respect and all these things. But it shifted how I like saw myself. And for a long time I believed like certain things that people would insinuate about me, and not knowing what it was like. And it bothered me in friendships and relationships, because it's like with your friends are the ones that's supposed to keep it real with you. Your family is the ones that's supposed to keep it real with you, unless when you fucking up, when you slipping, and correct you. Like don't hint and like insinuate or do shady shit. Like tell me when I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Let me fucking know so I could do the right thing. That's just how I am. And so when people was just like acting phony and shit, I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm trying my best. Like I'm literally just going through the world, like just constantly like stressed out, because it's like, first of all, random people that I don't even know are like, like giving me a hard time, acting like they know me. Why the fuck do you know me? I don't fucking know you, and you really don't fucking know me. So like, it's like all these things uncovering about my life, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And getting no answers, being stuck in this space of like of ignorance, and and lack of transparency. And a lot of that energy fueled the lyrics of the last song, front end. And and just constantly feeling like, well damn, like I'm trying my best, like I know I'm a good person, like I know I've had some missteps and made mistakes, like I don't know what people's issues are. And I'm like, and I don't know why I'm getting like attacked by random people. Like who the fuck are y'all? Like I don't fucking know y'all. Like I've never seen you a day in my life. I don't know why you got a problem with me. Like, and I'm just trying my best out here. And then and especially when I would see people that I knew, that knew me and worked with me, were friends with me, had good rapport with me, and then would switch up for whatever reason. And then like as I was discovering certain things, and I'm like, okay, well maybe it was during this time or whatever that people had a problem with me. And then slowly but surely realizing like certain things that I thought were issues were like really just set up scenarios to like bait me into looking bad, and bait me into like creating conflict. And so during that time it was just a lot. I mean, it still is a lot. It still is a lot. And it's unfortunate, it's frustrating when you feel so misunderstood, and like nobody tells you what the fucking issues are. Like people are just out here treating you like shit, and you don't fucking know why, and they don't tell you. So it's not like you have the space to like correct it or say, or like troubleshoot or whatever. And then slowly but surely, as I was like discovering issues with certain people, I'm like, hold on, this wasn't even an issue. Like you was being fake with me. Like what are we talking about? And then certain things where it's like, as certain things are being revealed and revealed, and it's like, if you'd have just told me straight the fuck up, or just asked me or corrected me right then and there, I'd have told you straight up, no, how you're looking at the situation is not how it happened. Or, I understand that's how you feel. I don't agree with you, because I know from my perspective it didn't happen like that. But because I love you, because you're a friend, you're a family member, I want to do right by you, because that's how I am.
And I feel like all people should be like that. And so to like be in a situation where it feels like nothing you do is enough, and you don't know what people's problems are, and nobody's telling you anything, and you're just going through life in this like space of limbo of like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to try to be perfect and not ruffle anybody's fucking feathers because I don't know what the issue is, but I care about these people, especially like people in your life, like people who know you, like friends, family, people who you've worked with, and nobody's like being honest with you. And it's like the most exhausting thing ever. And you just like are constantly just going through your life, just trying to like face the world. And it's like, okay, to y'all might feel like justified in that, but I don't even know what the justification is. And of course, nobody wants to tell me the truth because they know I'm the type of person where I'll tell you exactly what the fuck it is and what it's not, and then I'll tell you, and then I'm big on accountability. Like if you tell me I'm wrong, even if I don't agree with you, hi, this is my baby Angie. Even if I don't agree with you, I'll be like, I'm sorry. Let me try to make it up to you. And people know that about me and have used it against me. I did not mean to get into this whole rant right now, but yeah, I didn't mean to get into this whole rant, but I'm like, either way, this besides the point. I was dealing with that. I was dealing with like gossip, rumors, betrayal, harassment, abuse, just a lot of shit. And I was constantly like seeking help, seeking therapy, seeking support. And like my support system was just like crumbling and trying to gaslight me out of my experience. And it's like, okay, I don't know what you want from me. I'm trying my best here, and nobody's being honest with me. Nobody's telling me anything. So it's like, I can't fix a problem I don't know about. And then you realize, like, you know, you can't fix a problem that people aren't making you aware of because they don't want you to be aware of it. They want you to be the problem. And this song is kind of like me coming into that realization, just like constantly fighting the world, but then also like just trying to stay sane in the midst of it. And then getting to a point where it's like, okay, no, you don't want me to do the right thing because I'm the type of person that would. I'm the type of person that corrects myself and that I mean well. And if I had the freedom to speak my truth and share my experience, that I call out your bullshit and the bullshit of like certain narratives and certain things that was said about me and like rumors spread and all these things. And I'm the type of person that's going to call it out and call you out for the shit that you do, because you can't call me out and then think that I'm not going to call you on your shit. So that's why I realized people kept me in the space of not knowing, because it's like, yeah, we can't let her know, because if she knows, she's going to blow our cover, and people can't have that. They need to be the hero, right? They need to be the hero. In order to be the hero, you got to have a villain or whatever. So yeah, it was just exhausting dealing with that bullshit, and me just like, you know thank you. Okay, even though I feel like you low-key like worded that a particular way, but um either way, um I am going to keep doing my thing. Because I mean, hello, I'm still here, I'm still alive, and it hasn't broken me yet. But it's a lot. It's a lot to have to deal with that and then not know people's problem. And it's like you trying to fix the issue, you trying to do the right thing. You're First of all, you're just trying to live, right? You're just trying to exist in this world, which is already enough as a Black woman in America, and especially as somebody that really cares about the world, that cares about supporting people. Like I said, like, I'm really about my shit. Like, I support Black businesses for real. Like, I bank Black for real. Like, I don't just talk about that shit, I do that shit for real. And then when you get pushback from the spaces that you support and you go so hard for and you don't know why, like, it'd be one thing if people like cursed me out, like, and like said some shit to my face, like, I don't like you because of XYZ and this and that and that. I would respect that. I would totally respect that, because it's, at least you being real with me. And and even in certain situations, like at work, where I was dealing with people that like didn't like me, I can appreciate them to a degree. Because I'm like, you know what? At least I know this person does not like me. I'd rather deal with somebody that I know don't like me than somebody being fake in my face, trying to act buddy buddy with me, and the whole time you just like in my face bullshitting. You know what I mean? But like we all got a life to live. We all just trying to do this human thing. And you know, we've all had that experience where people made us feel like we don't belong, and you don't know why, and you're just showing up as your best and nobody's telling you the truth or whatever the case may be. But this song was that, to like be that thing for me to like keep a strong head on my shoulders despite, you know, spiritual warfare that was going on in my life, despite the betrayal and, you know, everything just kind of crumbling, and just fighting to exist, fighting to, you know, not even like live my dreams, like of being an artist and a creative, but just existing in the world, like yearning for the life you're wanting. You know, we all want a life of, I mean, we all have different desires, but like I said, like we all want and deserve a safe space to like exist, you know, food to eat, and to express ourselves honestly, as long as it's for the good of all and the harm to none. And I live my life like that, you know, and to constantly be in this space of like, you know, people lying around me, people just like using me, you know, and, you know, using me for clout and all these things. And it's like, clout, I only got 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. Um, you know, but it was just what I was dealing with, and it was like a lot. And you know, and it's tough when you really care to be a good person and you just don't know what people's problems are, and people just like use that as entertainment, like it's cool, and they think you deserve it. But it's like, okay, deserve what? For what? Like, you know, like I don't know what. And then like when they tell you, you realize it's some bullshit. And the whole time they just really wanted a good reason to like torture you out loud and make it socially cool. Because if they really kept it real with you, you would call them out on their bullshit and be like, oh, you want to torture me for this? Well, if that's the case, you probably deserve like 10 times that from this, when you did this to me, when you said this to me, when you lied on me here, you know. But people don't want to go down that route. Either way, I know this. I was having a Kanye rant. It was a classier version. But anyway, that was the inspiration behind like me writing this song like 2 years ago. And it's been a mantra for me to like just keep me at bay, and, you know, keep me sane, and like really knowing that I'm a good person. Fuck what these people talking about. I know I'm a good person. I don't deserve this bullshit. And I don't treat people like that. I know, and if I know I'm in the wrong, I show up and I do right. And you can't debate that about me. That's why people got to keep shit coded. You know, because if we kept it direct and talked about it on the surface, you can't bullshit me. You know what I mean? And so you got to keep me in a space of ignorance to justify the BS. But if you keep it real with me, I would debunk all the bullshit that people be talking about. And, you know, and along with spiritual warfare, because that's a real thing. Like I said, I had a spiritual shop. Witchcraft is real. People be trying to do witchcraft on you. People will see your light and see your shine, and then try to like, you know, try to drain your energy to make themselves be, you know, say if you have like this natural aura and this light about you, and like you're a positive person, you're a nice person, you care about people, and you're talented, and people don't quite have that, they might not have that look, that talent, that, you know, they will literally energetically eat off of you just to make themselves relevant, or to get a bit of that shine and that aura, because they naturally don't exude that aura. Their whole aura is literally trying to copy you. And it's like, if they had an aura of themselves, they wouldn't have to work so hard to try to copy what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I realized that in my own life, and, you know, and that's spiritual warfare. And then, you know, people would try to do witchcraft on you, try to manipulate you, you know, all these things. And I've seen all that, and, you know, and not know why, not know what the fuck is going on. And then, you know, when certain things are revealed, it's like, okay, well, if we want to talk about it, um, you know, then you gotta keep me in a space of like silent shame, because then I'd be calling out these other people, and they don't want to look at themselves and their weird activities. But and I get it. I understand, because if people were really honest about what they do and what they have done, and knowing that they would potentially get ridiculed and attacked the way I've been ridiculed and attacked, and they, of course, they're gonna lie. Who's gonna tell the truth? Who's gonna tell the truth? Because when has like truthful accountability ever been celebrated? When have you ever like seen somebody do something fucked up and then they admit it, and and they apologize for it, or whatever the case may be, and people are like, oh yes, look at them being the bigger person, look at them being accountable. No, people shame you and like attack you when you're the bigger person and you do the right thing. I mean, literally look at J. Cole. Like, I mean, a completely different reaction, because he opted out of toxicity. Even though, like, yeah, it's hip hop and it's battle, but the battle just didn't make sense for him to do. It didn't make sense for him to go at it with Kendrick. Lyrically, if it was just like a friendly sparring, that'd have been cool. But he's seen these battles get to an ugly space, and his relationship with Kendrick didn't call for that. So it didn't make sense for him to show up to that battle like that. And like he said, people want to see blood. People want it to get, intense. But he did the mature thing. Even though it wasn't hip hop and culture, he did the right thing though, because he opted out of toxicity. And it wasn't until after the fact everybody want to run back and be like, oh no, we were wrong about Cole. He was right. Look at him in the flowers and on the beach and shit, listening to music, chilling, while Drake out here getting assassinated. Like, yeah, when you're the bigger person and when you aim to do the right thing, and and you apologize and you have accountability for your actions, even though you really could call out hella people other actions that is wild and crazy. When you're that person and people already deem you like the bad guy, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares when you do the right thing more times than not. Because when they're already like conditioned with that mindset of you, they're like, oh no, we going to shit on this person, until like years later when you look back and was like, damn, actually we were kind of wrong about this person. They were right. I mean, for J. Cole, it happened a bit quicker. It just took a month for the same people that were shitting on him to be like, actually, J. Cole was right. But, anyway, this is taking down the house. I'm the leader of the new school. Okay, hold on. That's not the instrumental version. All right, here we go. I'm the leader of the new school. Cause bitch, I'm too cool. Fuck all the voodoo they do. Cause bitch, I'm too cool. Fuck all the bullying y'all do. Cause bitch, I'm too cool. Yearning for the life you're wanting, or facing their taunts and their judgments on you. I'm trying to stay sane, fighting every day while hiding your pain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. Stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. They stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. Yearning for the life you're wanting, while facing their taunts and their judgment on you. But trying to stay sane, fighting every day while hiding your pain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. Stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. Stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. Make sure they stay out. Make sure they stay out your. Sure they stay out. Sure they stay out your brain. Stay out your. Make sure they stay out your. Sure they stay out. Sure they stay out your brain. They stay out your brain. Just make sure they know you can't tell me what to do. My body, mind, and soul don't belong to you. Don't care about the food you do, bitch. I don't belong to you. No, you can't tell me what to do. My body, mind, and soul don't belong to you. Don't care about the food you do, bitch. I don't belong to you. Yeah. Don't care about the. Don't give a fuck about the. Don't worry about the food you do, yeah. Stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. Make sure they stay out. Make sure they stay out. Sure they stay out. Just sure they stay out your brain. Stay out. Make sure they stay out your. Sure they stay out. Sure they stay out your brain. Stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. Stay out. Just make sure they stay out your. Oh, that's my jam. I really like that one. And like I said, I've been waiting like years to put that song together. So, right in about, it's a bop. It's a bop, right? I want to play that one again. This is my Not Like Us. You're not like us. And there's no A minor chords on this one. But I really do enjoy this song a lot. I'm the leader of the new school, cause bitch I'm too cool. Fuck all the voodoo they do. Can't tell me what to do. Fuck all the bullying they do. Can't tell me what to. You're never the life you're wanting. We're facing their taunts and their judgments on you, but trying to stay sane. Fighting every day while hiding your pain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. Stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. They stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. You're never the life you're wanting. While facing the taunts and the judgments on you, but trying to stay sane. Fighting every day while hiding your pain. Just make sure they stay out your brain. Stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. They stay out your brain. Just make sure they stay out. Make sure they stay out. Make sure they stay out your. Sure they stay out. Sure they stay out your brain. No, you can't tell me what to do. My body, mind, and soul don't belong to you. Don't care about the food you do. I don't belong to you. You can't tell me what to do. My body, mind, and soul don't belong to you. Don't care about the food you do. Bitch, I don't belong to you. You can't tell me what to do. My body, mind, and soul don't belong to you. Don't care about the food you do. Bitch, I don't belong to you. Yeah, yeah. I don't belong to you. Fuck all the fuck I do. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Make sure they stay out. Make sure they stay out. Sure they stay out. Sure they stay out your brain. Hey, don't care about the. You ain't about the. Look on the root of you do, yeah, yeah. Don't care about it, care about it. Just make sure they stay out your. Okay, all right, that's enough. Oh yeah, I really enjoy that one. Um, but yeah, no, it's important though. Like it's a fun track. It's a fun track, but it's a serious one too at the same time. Because I was going through hell. Like, with Michael, when they asked him about touring, he was like, I go through hell touring. Like I've been through some shit to get this song. You know what I mean? And it's simple. It's not like there's verses or anything like that and a pre-hook and all. Like it's really just a house beat. And I wanted it to be something fun because I'm like, that's literally how I get through the things that I deal with. I'm like, you know what? There's definitely moments that are serious, but I have to make the most out of life because I refuse to let these circumstances like ruin my peace of mind and my happiness and my joy within myself, because I know I'm a good time. Like I know I'm a lot of fun. I know I'm a great friend. I know that I'm a good person. I care about the world. I do the right thing. I be helping folks when I can. And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I have my flaws, but I try, and I really care to not, be a negative person. I try not to, but okay, yes, let there be lights. Let there be some light up in here. But really though, and I know this about me, and I had to go through that journey of, even through the hard times, I'm grateful for what it's taught me. And I mean, in hindsight, even though I still go through the things now, but I can look at those moments and be like, you know what? The beauty of it is that, for one, it's built me into the woman that I am now. And there was something else too. There was something else that I was pondering on recently about like just my life and just everything that I was going through. And just like the biggest realization and revelation, like epiphany moment about it. I think it was kind of like that thing of like, don't know what you got till it's gone, where it, when your life is good, you don't realize it's good. You're just living life until shit hits the fan. And then you like, damn, I really had it good back then, and then, but when things start to get better, you have a new appreciation for it because you went through the trenches, right? There's a bit of that. But then also, I think for me, even before like a lot of the stuff I was dealing with, I was always a grateful person. I would watch The Secret a lot. And something that I was always like, I prided myself in being is like always trying to find the gratitude in situations, and you know and always appreciating people, always saying thank you, especially with my dad. Like I was thinking about this earlier today, and I know like his birthday's coming up and he passed earlier this year. But and he would complain about it. I'm like, who complains about people appreciating them? And now like I feel like in hindsight I can understand, but I did. And something I would say to him all the time is like, I'm grateful that you're in my life, because there's a lot of people that don't have their fathers in their lives, and even though my mom isn't here to raise me, you are. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you being there for me, in times when I need help, you're there. And I would always, and everything that I did was out of like not only wanting to make him proud, but to give back to him what I felt he gave to me. Like even in moments where I felt like he didn't support me or hear what I was saying or value my voice, there were a lot of times when he showed up for me, and times where, he supported me in his own way, and, whatever the intention was, I don't really know anymore, but I was appreciative then. And I will always say thank you. And I will always make a point to let him know I appreciated him. And, and I would say, because I don't want you to feel like I take you for granted. Like I rather over say thank you than not say thank you enough. And I can even though like we weren't as close, like leading up to his passing, I can look back. I mean, it was really because I was in a space of wanting independence and like just fighting for that for myself. But I can look back in my like time with him and know that there wasn't a time where I felt like I took him for granted. Maybe in my like youth and my childhood, but I know I went above and beyond to say thank you and and value the things that he gave me. And I really, again, like I said, like everything I did was not only to one try to make him proud, but to protect him, because as I was going through this stuff, I was under the assumption that like people were not really fucking with him, and or whatever, and whatever. I was just dealing with a lot of shit, and I felt like spiritually I needed to protect him. And if I had to face the world by myself, even if he wasn't like validating my experiences or believing what I was telling him, I was going to protect him anyway. And then also like I just wanted to, like, I had, how like people say like make a vision board with your goals and stuff. And I had a vision board with stuff that I wanted to do for my dad. And unfortunately I won't be able to do that now. I mean, I probably still can, for him in spirit, but I don't know. But he would always say he doesn't need me to do that. Like, he's like, I'm okay. I'm good. I don't need you to, get this for me. But that classic thing of like, when you make it, you want to buy your mom a house. Like, I wanted to do that for my dad, you know? Like, I just knew, like, when I made my dreams come true, I would, like, all the things that my dad wanted, like material stuff or whatever, like, I would just make sure he's good. And I just wanted him to be like comfortable and like safe. And you know, anyway, um, I don't know how I got into this tangent. I know there was a point that I was making there. Um, Appreciating, like there was something about appreciating the struggle. Yeah, like finding the lesson and everything. I think that was the point that I was making. Um, and I just kind of got into a tangent of appreciation, and even the bad times, I find a way to appreciate it. I try to look at the positive in it and try to see, what am I learning here? How am I growing? How is this pushing me? What is the good that's coming out of this situation? Even though it looks like all hell is breaking loose, how can I be grateful in the midst of this? And I try to do that the best that I can. If anybody watches me on the Truman Show, you would know that I speak to gratitude. Like, even in the midst of shenanigans, I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful for the people that gave me a hard time because they inspired me to write this song. I'm grateful for, my house, even though I'm breaking generational curses in this house. Um, but I'm grateful to have a home. I'm grateful that I'm not in Gaza, like where their home became rubble and they're seeking refuge. I'm grateful that I'm not in that situation right now, and I pray for the people that are dealing with that. You know, Even though I feel like there's a lot that I deal with, I know there's a lot to be grateful for. I'm grateful that my body works. I'm in good health. I'm grateful that I'm still here. My spirit is strong. My mind is sharp. I'm constantly learning and growing. I just got new books that I'm excited about reading. Um, and, you know, I'm grateful to have been able to even get those books. I recently got a book from a childhood friend of mine, even though we hadn't like really been talking and stuff. And I had it in mind, even though I know like Truman Show suggestions were there. But I mean, I was gonna do that anyway. It's just like I'm trying to like live, and like I have to get food and feed my cat and exist in the world. So sometimes like, but even then, like even with her and her family, like I know they've done a lot for me, and I don't take those things for granted either. And it was a goal of mine also for me to like do something like
I will, like, a dream of mine was to be rich so I could like spoil her and her family because they've done so much for me. And even though it at times where I feel like I can only assume because nobody told me straight up, and that was one of my issues, was that, I felt like there were times in our friendship where they weren't being honest with me. But, I know they've done a lot for me, and have helped me in ways that, I didn't take those things for granted. And I feel like maybe I overextended my welcome. And maybe, after a certain point, like after a certain age, maybe like them getting me stuff was like a bit much. And it seemed like I was like freeloading. And, they didn't say that, but I felt it. And for that reason, I wanted to like show up and give to them, even though my resources were limited and I didn't have as much. But it was always a goal of mine to like be rich and like spoil them, in the best way, because I valued how much, they helped and gave to me. And not even just with material things, but just with like love and like a sense of family. Like, there was one time where I couldn't spend Thanksgiving with my family because I was working Black Friday, and I was a manager at that time. And so I spent Thanksgiving with them. And, but to know that I was welcomed at that point to do that. And, I like, it's those little things that I don't take for granted. Even though the circumstances and like my distance from people might seem like that, like I don't forget those things. Like I I pray for gratitude for those things, and I pray for those people. I really do. And sometimes like I have rants and I get angry, but I really care about people, and I don't forget when people treat me right and do good by me, even if there might be like other intentions that I don't know about. Um, I'd rather look a fool saying thank you, and, saying thank you to the wrong people if they're like doing kind things with whatever motive, whether it's genuine or not, rather than like not say thank you enough. And, um, yeah, and I feel like I try my best to be like that every day. But yeah, anyway, circumstances of my life can be crazy, and I'm grateful to have this on and the resources to be able to put it together, because that song has been on my mind for a long time. That song has stayed in my brain for a while, and it's great to finally transmute it. Like, I've heard the beat, I knew how I wanted the percussion to be, I've heard the melody, like I like it sounds exactly like how I've been hearing it in my head. It sounds better because like the sub bass in there is crazy, and like there's parts where I switched up the beat cadence, and I'm like, oh yeah, nah, this beat go hard. But yeah. Um, what's up with these rat emojis? Like, is it like what does this mean? Is that your thing? But anyway, um, okay. I mean, like that's pretty much all the songs for now. This live stream wasn't gonna be like a super long one. Um, I'm not working on a beat today, but I will be live streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wave Wednesday, and I did want to get on here today to make up for the fact that Fridays got cut short, and Monday I ended up not doing it because I just needed that day. I needed that day to get myself together, and just like spiritually recharge and replenish my energy. Because the vampires out here be vampiring, and but I'll slay a vampire, not literally, but like protection, self defense type of thing. Um, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she be slaying the vampires. You gotta, how David had to slay Goliath with the stone. You know what I mean? All right, y'all. I'm going to conclude this
live stream. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I have like a ring light over here that's like flashing because of like, I don't know, it's like sensitive or whatever. But and I was gonna use that, but I realized that I could film vertically on my computer. So I did that instead of using my phone. But yeah, I'm gonna conclude this. I've done a lot of talking, so um there's more talking than it was music. Because I can talk, okay? I can talk. But okay, you just answer with more rats. And or no, not rats. This is a frog. Okay. But okay, that's your language. Um all right, so I'm going to disconnect that and then just conclude this. All right. Well, this was fun. Um it was cool going through my songs again. My voice is stronger than I thought it was because I don't sing nearly as much as I should be. So I'm getting back into it. And not only that, I mean, I've had a little, like, little mishaps, little moments, but I said I didn't warm up before doing this. So, like I said, give me some grace, you know? But, um, yeah, I enjoyed going through these songs. And I'm excited about the newer songs. Like, the guitar songs are cool, and I really do love those records. But, I'm excited about like the more upbeat, and then like in the lyrical context too, like it's more relevant with what I've been experiencing, and I also feel like it's something that's relatable to people who have been dealing with their own betrayals and their own, um, you know, okay, their own like betrayals in their own life, and oh my goodness, and people trying to control them, people trying to get in their heads and make you feel like you don't deserve whatever, people trying to make fun of you, give you a hard time, people picking on you and stuff like that. And and you just get into a point where it's like, I don't fuck what they talking about. You can't tell me what to do. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Word to Rage Against the Machine. I was just watching like a YouTube doc on them earlier. um But yeah, nah, like fuck the voodoo y'all be doing. And there's nothing against like magic because I'm a magical person, and not all magic is bad. I feel like you can use magic to heal, to um, evolve, to elevate. There's good magic out there. Just like there's good and bad with anything, but fuck the negative magic is what I'm saying. you know, and yeah. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the music. I hope you enjoyed hearing me and my TED Talks. Um, and I I challenge you to open your minds in a positive way. And before you are quick to attack and judge somebody, hear them out, hear their perspectives. Like, take time to hear the perspective of somebody you don't necessarily agree with or think that you don't agree with because you might have been conditioned to not agree with the person or not accept the person. Like that's literally racism. Okay? Like you're trained to like hate a person without even having your own experience of them, or getting an understanding of who they are. And when you let your guard down and you're open minded, and even if you still disagree, but just try to be more compassionate and be more understanding and just listen before you attack, before you just write somebody off, before you, just judge somebody based on the things that are told to you or, conditioned for you to believe about a person. Really take the time to experience them yourself and go from there. So I'll say a prayer on that note. Okay, you trolling at this point. Anyway, um, regardless of denominations and anybody's spiritual background, I pray that we're all a bit more compassionate with one another, that we're kinder to each other, that we're more open minded, that we're understanding of people that we might not necessarily agree with, and that we give everybody a fair chance to speak their truths and hear people out and consider other people's perspectives and give people a fair chance. May we be more open minded to share compassion and empathy for people that are normally different than us, that maybe have a different background, maybe have a different culture, maybe have a different perspective about life, and learn about one another and not be so quick to attack, but consider treating everyone like they deserve the right to be here and give everyone the space and freedom to tell their sides of stories, tell their own stories, and tell their truths. With that said, thank you. May we all be blessed and open minded in that way. May we correct ourselves when we're not. May we give ourselves grace when we don't always get it right. But may we be willing to give grace to others. So it is, so it will be. Gratitude for what's been. I hope you all enjoyed this. It's your girl Narisse, the girl you love to love. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already on all the platforms. Like I said, check out the Divine EP. It's on all streaming platforms. I suggest you stream it first, so hear the songs again, and then if you really want a physical copy, make sure you purchase it from NarisseM because that really supports me, and I'm the one who puts this together. And then I could package it up and send it to you all. And these are flash drives, collectibles, one of a kind, limited edition. I only got 3 left, so you better cop yours while you can. And like I said, I put it together myself, so you know, it's very special in that way. And what else? Follow me on TikTok. Listen to the music. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to support your girl and donate, a little coin. This is my Cash App name right here, $NarisseM, as well as my I think my PayPal is in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the description with all the links and all the information. And then if you're watching on Kick, check out my panels. I did update it, so I know I mentioned that I was going to do that, and I did because I'm a woman of my word. And yeah, I think that's everything. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Much love and blessings to you all. And I will see you tomorrow for Wave Wednesday. Stay tuned for what we're going to do. Am I going to do another vocal practice? Is it going to be a production? Are we recording vocals? Are we making new beats? What are we doing? I don't know. Who knows? Only way for you to find out is to be on the live stream Wednesday, Wave Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and Kick. And again, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do, because we're one person away from 200,000 subscribers already monetized. Yes, 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 yes. So, are you going to be my 200,000th follower? I don't know. It's good luck with the numbers in the twos. Okay, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's your girl Narisse, and I'm out. I'll see